Well, Ty Majeski, we've all three mentioned it. He has been the man to beat here at IRP, capturing the win the last 2 straight years. Under the lights for a little short track action.
Ty Majeski, he's a short track ace. He had a very, very fast truck for the old slide job.
Got him, he's got him.
Ty Majeski leads Corey Heim. Checkered flag. Ty Majeski gets the win at IRP.
Just tell you how good Ty Majeski is tonight.
Drives deep into turn number 1. So move Majeski down to the top spot.
For a second consecutive year, Ty Majeski win Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Well, we've been talking about Ty Majeski so much already, Regan. Let's just dial him up, get his thoughts.
I think that's a great idea. Let's check in with him. Ty Majeski, this is Regan in the FS1 booth. You got a copy, bud?
Loud and clear.
All right, man, you're getting ready to start second here this evening. You've won this race the past 2 years. How do you approach tonight? Is this one a must-win based on the point situation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a must-win. I think, you know, we're in a decent point spot. Obviously, if somebody underneath us wins, that's problematic. But I feel good about where we're at. We just need to have a good run tonight, Regan. It's certainly not a must-win. Just need to be smart, execute tonight. We're going to have a great Soda Sport F-150. It's going to be a fun race tonight. This place is always enjoyable.
All right, bud. Excited to watch you guys race tonight, and always a great racetrack. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good one up there.
All right, let's take a look now at our Mother's starting grid. Starting first for the 6th time this season by the metric, Corey Heim starting alongside Ty Majeski.
Second row, we're going to have Chandler Smith, winner of the past 2 short track races. So Chandler been very good. And we're going to have Giovanni Ruggiero starting next to him.
Former champ Ben Rhodes, he'll row from row 3 alongside Daniel Hemrick in the 19 truck. A couple of really solid guys here tonight that could go to victory lane. So many guys we think could win this race tonight, but they got to go through Corey Heim to get there. We know that.
Let's take a look at the rest of the field. How about Grant Enfinger right there, row number 4, fastest in practice.
Yeah, Grant looked really good and was really confident in his truck, so he'll be fun to watch. Ross Chastain made it over from the big track. The Mellon man gonna get to race again tonight, where it all started for him, starting in row 6.
How about Brent Cruz back there? Just won the Arkham and Arts race. Got out of that car, ran over to his truck, ready to go for his 2nd race in a row.
Row 11, you see Stewart Friesen, 200 start, and it's his birthday. And by the way, you get to go to the rear of the field for unapproved adjustments. So happy and sad all at the same time.
Frankie Muniz down there, row number 13, will drop to the back for adjustments as well.
Jordan Anderson is back. He's going to drive that 20 truck tonight. There you see Tony Breidinger. She had a solid practice today.
Greg Van Alst back in the truck series. Local home track, I guess you could say IRP is for him. All right, we have 2 pit reporters covering all the action for you tonight, Josh Sims and Caitlin Vinci. Good evening, Josh.
Well, Jamie, it's also always a great night when you have Ross Chastain, a Cup star, racing with the truckers. This is a special place for him. Made his very first truck start back here at IRP in 2011, and he said this is a special one, and these are the types of tracks that define this truck series. Low grip tracks where you can move all around, and it's on the driver to figure it out. Now, Ross has never won here at IRP. Looking to change that out here tonight. Caitlin?
Well, Josh, I had a chance to talk with Corey Heim's crew chief, Scott Zipadelli, earlier today about that 5-win season. He said that Corey is just a phenomenal talent. He said he does all of his own studying. He is just a student of the sport. He said also what he's been doing on the Cup side with 2311 Racing and working with Denny Hamlin specifically, he said has really paid dividends for his career. Now, he did add that their short track program, they identified as a weak spot in the offseason for this team. So they worked on it a lot throughout the offseason, hoping that it paid off and hoping to get their 6th win starting from the pole today. Jamie?
Thank you, Caitlin and Josh. All right, Michael, how about our Craftsman track description for tonight?
Well, I challenge you, Jamie, to find one person in this field that doesn't just love this racetrack. So the Craftsman track description, it's just a little over a half mile, but mainly it's racy. We talked about all the differing grooves and the way these guys are going to be able to slip and slide. Just a great racetrack. It's going to be a great Friday night for NASCAR here in Indy.
I agree, Michael. Great racetrack, and we're going to get to see plenty of it. 200 laps for this race tonight. The first 2 stages, 60 laps. The final stage, 80 laps. Keep an eye on pit road speed also, 35 miles an hour. That's a change from last year's pit road speed, a little bit slower, so the guys will have to be careful about that.
Michael, how about the Ram race strategy?
Ram is back. They're coming NASCAR truck racing in 26. I think that we're going to have to watch this tire fall off. Regan, you talked about that final stage, 80 laps. Do you pit if there's a late caution, get those fresh tires? Because we saw a second and a half of fall off in just 20 laps. So it's going to be interesting and tough for these crew chiefs to make that call right at the end of this race.
It was so fun hearing from the drivers after practice. They were all smiling. They just loved the fall off and the slipping and the sliding. Tonight's going to be a treat. Well, we have two onboards. Frankie Muniz in the 33 carrying our Morgan and Morgan on board. This ought to be good. He's starting from the rear. A lot to look at.
Is there a Muniz in that Morgan and Morgan this week?
Morgan Muniz and Morgan?
I think you might be right.
Yeah, why not? And Ty Majeski starting second. Carry the onboard there. And I love the reverse camera. You could see how intense his eyes are. He still has that clear visor on, though, as we start this race. So you could really see his eyes as the race progresses. I love it. We've got 4 double-duty drivers who were just in the ARCA Menards race. They literally just finished up about 30 minutes ago, jumped out. Look at this first for Brent Cruz, and he was hot. He was overheated.
And that'll be something to keep an eye on all night tonight. Not only for these guys, but for the other truck drivers. It is very, very muggy, and that can catch up with you really quick in the race vehicle.
Connor Mosak had a solid run. Brendan Queen, he was fast early in the ARCA Menard Series race, got a little bit loose late, and lost out to Brent Cruz. Great run for Brent.
Hard to believe it has been 27 days, guys, since we raced at Lime Rock. What a fun event that was. History making for the Craftsman Truck Series to race there. What's that like, being off that long, Regan, and jumping back into your truck and have to compete at this level tonight?
It is a challenge, and what they got to figure out, right, is after that break, a number of these guys went and raced other stuff, short tracks and different things throughout that time frame, but it wasn't their truck, it wasn't their truck team. There's been a lot of changes to teams also since that race, so this is kind of like a reset and get ready for the championship push of the season. And you definitely want to, if you've got the momentum like a Corey Heim, you want to keep that momentum going. You want to have that as you head into the playoffs.
It's just a great racetrack too, so I can't imagine waiting 27 days to come to this venue and be able to go short track racing. This track is just laid out so perfectly for the trucks, and this is going to be a crazy battle.
1 to go. You see all the crowd standing on their feet. Great crowd this evening. It is a warm one. It has been warm all week long in Indianapolis. These boys are going to earn their keep tonight for 200 laps.
There's some of the fans up on the hillside checking out the action. Nice place to sit in the grass and have a cold one. Cheer on your favorite trucker.
It's race number 16 of 25. 3 races remain before the playoffs. A lot on the line tonight. I just love this front row.
Well, and these guys right now, they're mentally getting focused, right, Jamie? They're tuning into what they're about to do, pulling the belts tight that one final time, and making sure that they're prepared to go to battle and probably be 3 and 4 wide pretty quick, Michael.
Yeah, we talked about that during practice earlier, Regan. We're going to say 3 wide for sure. We know 4 wide will come. Do we go 5 wide? I mean, it could happen here.
Oh, it could. It's going to be close.
All right, pace truck is off. Fans are on their feet. Corey Heim on the inside. Ty Majeski on the outside as they come out of turn number 4, looking for that green flag. It's in the air. We are racing at IRP. Taking a quick look to the inside. That's the 38. Chandler Smith, he's won the last 2 short track races. He moves into second like that.
But he's got a challenge on the outside. We saw what an advantage Heim took on the start of this race, starting on the low side. We'll see if that's a trend all night long.
Look at that, 3 and 4 wide behind him.
There it is. We've already said it, Regan.
First lap, we got it out already, and it's going to happen a lot more tonight. Little curious about the start on the outside for Ty Majeski. Appeared he maybe spun the tires just a little bit, and that's something we'll have to pay attention to.
Well, if you watch the ARCA race, the bottom lane launched better all night, all day long, so that could be where the leader will pick every time. We'll see.
Just love the battles that we're seeing right here, and this track really induces that. It allows you to pick a different lane and try something different, go where they're not. Layne Riggs, I know, Michael, you felt really good about his truck all day long. moving forward there, getting a spot from Tyler Ankerman.
Yeah, he just made that move, and you saw he was all the way down on the apron, but that is going to be normal tonight. You're going to be able to run really wide, really low, whatever your truck likes, you're going to be able to take advantage of that grip wherever you can find it at. What a run there off turn 4 for Riggs.
I love what I'm seeing out of the 34 truck right now, just being able to get lower than the truck in front of him and still carry the momentum off of the corner. And that's where the challenge is. When you go to the bottom and you try to complete a pass like that, a lot of times you're losing 7 feet of track space roughly from a truck being out there, and he's not losing speed doing that right now.
Nice battle. Rajah Caruth back there. Tanner Gray in the 15. By the way, Tanner Gray on baby watch. Little boy, first child, expected the first week of August, but he said we are ready, and just in case, his brother Tanner Gray is on standby.
This is a great battle, 2 differing lines. These trucks running fairly even in the battle for 12th. Just ahead of them, Ross Chastain, the Mellon man's up top. There's that beautiful green and red truck.
He told us all about the Southern Indiana watermelons.
Ileana watermelon.
Ileana.
Not to be confused with the Indiucky one, the Kentucky, Indiana version.
So that's Indiana, Illinois watermelons.
That's
and
right.
he's got one ready. You know, they have one
yeah.
in every truck ready to smash if he wins the race.
45. That truck, Caden Honeycutt, was really fast in practice. Like the way it looked in the long run, too, and he's solid right now.
Hey, life is good. He's a newlywed. They just got married. He's married his high school sweetheart last weekend. I believe there's some wedding cans dangling off, not really, but dangling off the back of that 45. They surprised him.
Can't imagine the NASCAR tech officials would allow real ones to be dangling off back there, but certainly a cool moment for Caden.
Running in the 8th position, Caden is just married. You see it there on the tailgate of that truck, and there's the sweethearts. They're going to reintroduce themselves as Mr. and Mrs. Honeycutt. That's beautiful.
So he had a good off week, 3 weeks to be exact, building up to that wedding.
And he's got a great truck here in Indy.
Good in practice earlier today. Always a driver that we know is going to be a threat on the short tracks. I love what we're still seeing out of Rajah Caruth. I think every time that we've seen him on camera, he's been passing trucks. He's been doing it on the bottom. He's been going forward. Ross Chastain doing the exact opposite. He's doing it on the outside. That's the beauty of this racetrack in Indianapolis Raceway Park, that you can move around and make your truck work if you need to. Something that we'll have to keep an eye on also, and Ross told us this during practice today, the slipping and sliding and not abusing the tires, picking and choosing when you do abuse those tires. If you go to the bottom, does it hurt them? If you go to the top, does it save them a little?
You know what I love too? I like going to the bottom, making a pass, and then resetting. Go up top, let the truck rest for a bit up on the high line, and then go back to attack mode on the bottom.
Nice battle for 5th right here. Ben Rhodes trying to get around Tyler Ankrum in that 18.
Talked to Ben earlier today before practice, and I said, we gonna get any practice in or what? He said, I'm in my suit and I'm ready, Mike. And you can tell he is ready. Good truck early for Ben.
Ben Rhodes, one of those guys. He's a 2-time champion, but far from safe. In fact, he's 68 points out at the start of this race. So talk about a must-win situation. He's pretty much in it.
Watch this 34 truck. I've been watching the lap times, the scoring monitor. He's definitely lap after lap the fastest truck other than Corey Heim. Corey's got some clean racetrack. Layne is making his way through some heavy race traffic, and he is very, very fast right now. You can see how, I'm sorry, Jamie, you can see how well that thing sticks down low as we look at Corey Heim on the other side of the screen with no traffic ahead of him.
That's right, it's clean sailing up there for Corey Heim in the 11. He's now led in all 16 races this season. Most laps led. Look at that, just hit 1,000.
Just an incredible stat to be at this point of the year with so many races left to go in the season, to let that many laps, and that's not the only stat that we're going to see from him. He's going to break a lot of other records in the Craftsman Truck Series this year.
It's just amazing what he's doing week in and week out. We just have come to expect it. You know, he's going to be the guy you have to beat, as Regan predicted in the pre-race show.
I went for that low-hanging fruit, right? Once again.
Corey Heim continues to lead here at IRP, 15 laps in. Beautiful Indianapolis. We'll be back. clear him.
What about the versatility of that 34 truck? He went down low. Corey went down there to block a little bit. He said, all right, I'll just go up high, and drives around the leader on the outside. What a strong move.
And I think just as quick as that truck is right now, what Corey Heim really needs to do right here is pay attention, watch, follow him for just a minute, figure out, okay, where is he better than me? What do I need to tell crew chief Scott Zipadelli I need to get just a little bit better tonight? Because right now in these conditions, that 34 truck is on an absolute rail.
It is amazing what he's been able to do from 10th to 1st. 20 laps. It's amazing.
Battle for third place right there, and as we move back to the front here, and it just appears that the 34 is driving away. Layne Riggs is really hooked up right now and looks great out there, Caitlin.
Yeah, Regan, he certainly does. I had a chance to talk with him earlier, and he said ever since they had their win at Pocono, he feels like they are poised to run after a championship. He said, our team is just peaking at the right time. He said, overall, as a competitor, I feel like I've grown a lot this season and being very comfortable with these racetracks, not overthinking things too much. And he also said this place in particular, he feels like he can really capitalize. He's had some top 5 performances here, and he knows the short tracks are his strong suit, guys.
He actually made his Truck Series debut here back in 22, finished 7th, but these are his first laps ever led at IRP. So that truck is strong, Michael. You were on to something. You saw it in practice just a few hours ago.
Yeah, I just like the way he wasn't bobbling as much as the other truck. We saw a lot of guys with the rear ends hanging out. He seemed to be able to squeeze the gas down, keep that thing pointed in the right direction as he puts a lap there on Jordan Anderson up off turn 2.
Look at this battle trying to get around the lap traffic. That's Chandler Smith, Layne Riggs' teammate, in 3rd. He's got Ty Majeski running 4th. Let's get an update on Chandler, Josh.
And Jamie, remember, after practice, Chandler Smith was not happy with that truck. Told me they just missed it a little bit on the setup. They were about 16th fastest in practice. But he also told me, remember, North Wilkesboro, a very similar situation where they missed the setup and went out and ended up running the race. Well, because they didn't get to qualify, he had good starting position. Right now, holding his own in that battle with Ty Majeski. And remember, he's won the last 2 short tracks on the season. So Chandler Smith, just as good as a guy like Ty Majeski when it comes to this discipline of racing, Jamie.
Josh, that's a great point about North Wilkesboro. They did. I mean, they figured it out and reeled him in, and that was his 2nd win of the season. See what he can do here. You see that average finish on short tracks.
Yeah, and as they were battling just a moment ago, I'm telling you, Jamie, there was some hands sawing back and forth on the wheels right there. You wonder how hard these guys are driving. They are giving everything that they've got. Watch Ty Majeski as they come off the corner right here, and you can see that steering wheel. It jumps sideways, and that's what you don't want to have happen at IRP. You want to keep that truck underneath you. Every time that happens, the tires don't like it. They get angry, right? And the tires, if they get angry enough, they're not going to work good.
They get angry, they get hot, and they say, I'm done with you. Take care of me. And that's what exactly, I think that's exactly what we're seeing Ty Majeski do right now. He got that spot away from Chandler, and now he's just driving straight up off the corner.
I love it. I know you guys talked to different crew chiefs today, as I did, and they all said the same thing. Tires matter, and we love the fact that they matter because they all feel like they have the driver that'll win, that has the most experience or do the best at saving their stuff.
Well, and I think you can hear it right here as we ride along with Ty Majeski. You hear how easy he's being on that throttle, and he's well up onto the straightaway before he really thinks about getting to full throttle. And what that means as a driver is you've really got to roll that throttle and keep from spinning them. And sometimes we go to tracks where you don't see that. This is not one of those tracks. We heard it from Ross Chastain earlier today. You got to protect your stuff from slipping and sliding. He was grinning from ear to ear talking about it even.
Battle for 7th, Raja Karuthan, the 71. This has been going on and on and on with Ben Rhodes on the outside.
And Raja doing a nice job. He's moved up from 19th where he started all the way up into the top 10. And we talked about him early in the race, how he was running the bottom and looked good. This is another truck that's now moved up to the top. And Raja was good here last year as well. Started from the pole a year ago in this race. Of course, we didn't have qualifying today for him to get to back that up again this season, but looking very good early on.
Ben Rhodes in the 99, pacing right there behind Raja. Look at that line. I talked about it in the opening. So far down toward the bottom, and then another truck right out next to the outside wall. That's what's fun, you know. These drivers smile when they talk about Indy, but that's what you want as a driver, options. Give me something to do other than what everybody else is doing. As you see, the 44 and the 45 teammates here doing battle just inside the top 10. Caden's 9th, Ross is 10th. That tells you how good these truckers are, right, Regan? You got Ross Chastain, winner of a crown jewel event in Cup Series racing. He's in the 10th position now. Got 9 guys that are truck regulars out ahead of him.
Guys, Ty Majeski started on the front row next to Corey Heim, slipped back a bit, but he's coming back. He's taking a peek at that 11 on the inside there.
And how many times have we seen this out of Ty Majeski when you go to some place, when you go to IRP in particular, or any of the short tracks, just very good at managing his stuff and waiting until the time's right in a run to go. And as we sit here right now, a little over halfway through this first run of the race to the end of the first stage, and it appears that his stuff's maybe coming in just a little bit.
And you could see that rear end skipping out on him. Anytime you got to pin it down off the corner, it's going to challenge those rear tires to hook up. Ty sideways off turn 2, kept it straight there, and look at the ground he gained on Heim, able to get that pass done.
This is the Ty Majeski that we've come to learn. This year, though, just hasn't been that year for Ty. He's had a lot of down races. He's had a couple of good ones he's been able to put together, but this is where he came to life last year. I feel like he really broke through, won the race, and of course, we all know he went on to win the championship.
We talked about Jamie last year versus this year. Check out this comparison.
Very different there. As we look at the numbers, and you certainly can't deny the numbers, right? Less poles, less wins as of right now. Now keep in mind that all 3 of those wins came after IRP for Ty Majeski, and certainly he hopes that happens again tonight, that kind of sets him in the tone to go out and win multiple races and make his way to Phoenix for a championship.
Got a really solid truck. He's got to see if he can, now that he's cleared Heim, does he have anything for Layne Riggs? Lap after lap, Layne had been the fastest truck, but now that Majeski has cleared Heim, he was a 10th better than our leader, Layne Riggs, last time by. There's that 34 truck that's been so impressive, working his way through lap traffic. That might be why Ty was a little better.
Little part of the factor there potentially, but nonetheless, that's what's so good about this track. We've seen, okay, Corey Heim starts off really good, appears that he's the best truck early on. Now he's fading a little bit. Layne Riggs 10 laps in, now he's the best truck, and you're going to continue to have these comers and goers like this, and man, that's just great racing.
Just 21 laps to go in stage number 1. Layne Riggs, a 2.5-second lead over Ty Majeski. on Fox with an historic three-peat on the line. Can Alex Palou become the fastest to ever win 3 IndyCar Series championships? Or will the pack hold him off at Laguna Seca? It all starts Sunday at 3 Eastern, only on Fox. I'll tell you, it's a couple guys that like to put a stop to it. Pato O'Ward did it last weekend at Toronto. That's been fun to watch, but Alex Palou just having an amazing season. Well, we welcome you back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series live from IRP, and that is your leader right there, Layne Riggs in the 34 truck. And guys, moments ago, little contact.
This is close short track racing. Layne's just making his way through lap traffic, gets on the inside of Jack Wood and just wasn't quite clear, Regan.
And you'll see right here, just a little bit of contact, and no harm, no foul. Short track racing, and you carry on and on to the next one. And I got to tell you, Layne Riggs he's setting a torrid pace right now. The truck he just went by a moment ago, Gio Ruggiero, started 4th and has fallen all the way back right now to the 20th position and a lap down. And part of that is obviously he's struggling a little bit, but Layne Riggs is really setting a good pace.
And you see the next truck there ahead of Layne is Matt Crafton. So Gio Ruggiero, we saw him right there on the cut line trying to gain a spot into the playoffs. This is going to be a big blow to his chances, because I think the 34 of Riggs will get to Crafton and put him a lap down, which will take Ruggiero out of that free pass position. Look at those differing lines, way out next to the outside wall. This is another truck I've been keeping my eye on. He was really fast in practice. Grant Enfinger, he's got a solid truck. He just moved around Corey Heim up to the 4th place. Grant's lap times have been right there all race long.
Grant Enfinger started 8th up to 4th, as you see Corey Heim just behind him. I'm sure Corey and a few of these drivers ready for this stage to end, to work on their trucks just a little.
Yeah, I've seen the back end of that 11 truck more so than the others, just hanging out on the exit. So he's a smart driver, obviously, very talented, knows his truck from one end to the other. He's going to tell his team what he needs, Scott Zipadelli, what he needs to make that truck better. I'm going to be interested to see, Regan, after this stage break, who makes the right adjustments.
Yeah, and I think that's one area that they've done such a good job all year, is he and Scott Zipadelli making those adjustments. Corey Day here right now running in the 8th position. Another good run for Corey Day. He's been moving up since the start of the race. Started in 16th, and thinking back to the last time Corey Day was in the Craftsman Truck Series with us, a career best 5th place finish at Nashville, and we kind of wondered, did we start to see him maybe turn a little bit of a corner on the pavement stuff and really start to get it? And it appears that that would be the case. A track he's never seen before, doing a very good job tonight.
That's a good call, Regan, and you can see how steady that truck looks. Look, he's able to keep it down in the corners. That's his line he's liking, and it's pretty straight up off the turn. So he's got a good handling number 7 HendrickCars.com truck.
Talked to Brian Patty, his crew chief, earlier today, and I said, what was it about Nashville? And he said, it's just all of that prep. It's finally starting to make sense on the racetrack. I mean, this is so different for a dirt track guy, and he's being thrown into these trucks. And by the way, he's running some Xfinity at these places he's never seen before. So another great run so far by the 7 driver. Josh?
Jamie, to your guys' point, I talked to Corey just before he hopped in the truck, and he said something really clicked for him in that Nashville race. He felt like he turned a corner, so he was excited to get back out here. It's been a while, he said, since he's been in the truck, but he said these type of tracks tonight are the ones he loves, where you can move and run very different lines. He was very confident about what he can do out here tonight, and you're seeing him put that on display right now in this first stage of the race.
Isn't that great, Regan? We talked earlier about this racetrack. These guys throwing slide jobs, running up next to the wall, sort of on a cushion, reminding us of a dirt track. Well, Corey Day was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing Corey do that right now, and it's cool to hear Josh talk about that, right? Because where do the guys that come off of dirt excel? It's at a racetrack that's got multiple grooves where you can really move around, and he is as low as anybody right now. He's almost, if he wants to go a little lower in 3 and 4, he's going to be in the grass. So I don't recommend that, but who knows? Maybe he'll try it.
Just 4 laps to go here in stage number 1. Layne Riggs, guys. He's in a zip code of his own. Over a 3-second lead for him over Ty Majeski, Chandler Smith, Grant Enfinger, Corey Heim, the top 5.
Now you got to worry about how you adjust that 34 truck. You know, we had different rubber from the ARCA series that was on the track when the race started. It's cooling off. That's going to change things. Do you just leave that truck alone, or do you have to adjust it a bit to predict what how the conditions might change as we race into the night.
And this is where good notes are going to pay off for all of these drivers, right? And especially the ones that have been here before, that kind of think they know which direction it's going to go. Not only the rubber, as you mentioned, the sun's going down, Michael, and there's going to be another shift when we do the second pit stop as well, when it cools off even more. So multiple changes.
In these situations, when you're about to come down pit road for the first time, do you want to rely on your crew chief and the information he has, or do you want him to make the changes that you want?
I want the crew chief to hear what I'm saying the truck's doing and where I think the track's going and change it based on that.
And also, Eddie, I want that crew chief to open that notebook up too. They've got so many notes and so many predictions about how differing adjustments will affect what the driver's saying.
Right.
The crew chief has a lot of information in his hands.
He does, and the drivers do as well, and certainly that's why I say it's all about the communication, the back and forth.
Final lap is stage number 1. Layne Riggs on his way to pick up his 5th stage win of the season. So impressed with what we've been seeing so far from that 34. Dylan Capello is crew chief. He's a racer as well. Those guys are tuned up. Won at Pocono just a couple of weeks ago, and we know, a couple races ago, I should say, and we know what that means. It just turns up that motivation. Stage 1 is in the books. Layne Riggs is your winner. Can he hang on? Plenty more racing action to come from IRP. Big news this week. NASCAR is going racing in San Diego. By that, I mean Naval Base Coronado. Never done anything like this. They did a huge unveil. It was almost like a movie trailer, but we will race all 3 series, including the Truck Series. It'll be on Father's Day weekend next year. Friday, June 19th. Mark your calendars. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race will be there. And guys, we're celebrating America's 250th birthday.
And we're going to kick it all off with the trucks in San Diego. Wow, this is going to be an epic weekend. Seeing the drivers, all the social media that went out about the announcement of this race and how much everybody was into it. It was really fun to see, and I cannot wait for this event next year.
You know, Michael, you and I have both been around for a while, and there's certain events that just, they get you pumped up ahead of time even, and as soon as that announcement went out, wow, what a moment. They're going to be racing next to aircraft carriers. How cool is that?
All the military and their families will be out. Lots of fans in Southern California. A lot of drivers are from California and very excited about this opportunity. Stage points, Layne Riggs maximized it with 10 there, all the way down to Tanner Gray, moved up 5 spots, picked up 1 point. Pit road will be open. I believe we'll be seeing everybody coming down. 4 tires, that's what it's all about.
Give me forward and adjustment. Unless you're the clue truck there, the number 34, those other guys have no clue how they're going to catch him at this point in this race. He's been that fast.
They're coming your way, Josh.
And let's start with the 38 of Chandler Smith. His biggest complaint, no lateral drive. He said, I just need to be able to rotate the front of this thing better. So in addition to those tires and fuel, he'll get a little bit of adjustment to help him out, Caitlin.
Well, Josh, looking at the 98 at Ty Majeski in the middle of your screen, 2-time winner here at IRP, was 38 points above the cut line coming into this race, saying he has 0 lateral grip. They'll make an air pressure adjustment on that 98. The 34 at the bottom of your screen, he is the stage winner. He said, like you said, Michael, really happy with the speed, and overall, just he wants to fire off a little freer on that 34. Jamie?
Yeah, I saw a chassis adjustment for Layne Riggs, so they are adjusting, thinking about how things are going to be changing throughout this race.
You see there, great pit stop by the 34 team, gets him off first. Majeski next. What about that move by the 7? Is Corey Day all the way up? Oh, that's Raja, excuse me.
Raja gains 4 on pit road. Nice job by that pit crew.
Day as well, he picks up a couple of spots.
Corey Heim loses 4 spots on pit road. He will restart in the 10th spot. We'll be back from IRP for stage number 2. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from IRP, presented by Mother's High Performance Car Care. All right, a couple issues on
A lot of
pit
things
road.
went down on pit road, didn't there, Jamie? We had Heim having issues. You could see, does he stop over the line, Regan?
It's tough to tell from this angle, but you do see immediately they get ready right here, and they say, wait, we got to back the truck up, and the official standing up there, and they back it up. So we were wondering where he lost all the positions. That's exactly where he lost them, was that hesitation right there.
And we thought maybe they made major adjustments to that truck because we know how good he's been all year long, but it was just the fact that he slid long in his pit and lost from 4th position all the way back to 10th.
And then that wasn't the only thing that happened on pit road, Michael. You see Ross Chastain as he was leaving his pit box here. The left front tire was not on. He's trying to either back up or go forward, and unfortunately you see that tire spit out there, so he had to come back down pit road. Josh, what are they saying?
Yeah, and the tires have been the issue for this 44 team. Before they even came in for the pit stop, Ross was worried that he used up his tires, that he quartered them during that first stage. Then they come in and have that issue where the left front got hung, and you saw it never got fully attached, came off, had to stop and come back to his pit box. So a tough day got worse for the 44 team.
Yeah, no doubt. He was the last truck on the lead lap before that stop. And now look at all the damage on the left side for Ross Chastain.
Yeah, and they lost a lap in that pit road incident, so he's off the lead lap. Struggle so far for Ross. We thought he might be one of the guys you're going to have to beat tonight. It's not going well early.
And just a note on Corey Heim, no penalty for him. They were able to back it up, and they were able to get those adjustments that he needed. So we'll see now if that'll help, as he had fallen back before the end of that stage.
You know, we saw the launch from Heim on the bottom, and I thought maybe the bottom would be the preferred choose. But you can see Layne Riggs has taken the outside. See how that goes.
We saw that the outside didn't work so well for Ty Majeski. He's got to be happy starting on the inside. Here we go, 60 laps will round out stage number 2. Layne Riggs on the outside, Ty Majeski on the inside. That 71 truck of Raja Karuth, it's been strong. Keep an eye on him, and Tyler Ankrum next to him on row number 2. Green flag back in the air. Great launch from the outside for Layne Riggs as they fan out behind him. Look at Tanner Gray up in the mix.
Yeah, we saw him just below the playoff bubble.
There he is in the 15 truck. Started 15th, guys. He's up there to 6th.
That's strong.
Picked up some spots on pit road. Also has been picking them up on the racetrack. He's had a long run truck all day long going back to practice. It appeared that he was good on the 10 lap averages, and certainly teammates with Corey Heim, and we saw Corey Heim in practice be very good. Evidently the 15 truck, though, for Tanner Gray, a little better in race conditions.
And you see Tyler Ankrum strong run in that 18 truck, but Gray is able just to pull up on the outside and drive beside him. But now Ankrum, a nice little bump off turn 4 there, grabs that spot back.
Tanner Gray's got a mirror full of his teammate Corey Heim coming in hot in that 11 truck. Gained 2 spots already since the restart.
There's 2 Corys in the middle of a Grant and a Tanner down the back straightaway.
You see Corey Heim as he's trying to work his way back forward, and he's getting as many spots as he can right now, right? The quicker you can get those spots, the easier it is right now early on. He's been making some good moves. He goes to the bottom, he goes to the middle, kind of all over the racetrack, and just knows exactly where he wants to be to make those moves as quick as he can.
Caitlin, what are they saying about Corey Heim?
Yeah, well, they were saying that he couldn't get to the center, can't get out of the corner. He said, I'm not sure what to do, to be honest, before they did that round of pit stops, but they did make a track bar and air pressure adjustment. They also said to hold that pit sign up a little bit higher when he comes down pit road next time so he has a better visual on it. Jamie?
Yeah, thanks for that update.
You can see, Jamie, Ross Chastain is working his truck hard to try to get back in a position to get his lap back. Currently, Matt Mills rides in the free pass position. Just ahead of you see the 42 truck there, and Ross is just on the gas. He's not worried about saving any tires right now. He just wants to get these spots so he can get in a position to get his lap back.
And Ross knows the highest likelihood of a caution is going to be right now here in these next 10 laps or so before the field gets strung out, while there's still some new on the tire. So he's trying to do everything he can to get there as quick as he can.
Right around the bottom of the racetrack, you see birthday boy Stewart Friesen. He's been solid early in this race from the back into the top 10. What about this 52 truck, Regan?
He has looked really strong, Michael, and hey, you know what? We've had 2 guys win on their birthday in the Truck Series before. One of them did it twice.
Ron Hornaday.
And Ron Hornaday did it twice, and None of them have ever done it in their 200 start. Maybe it can be Stewart's night. He can add his name to the list and win in his 200 start.
I talked to him earlier today, and he said his son Parker said, "Dad, you've got more gray stripes in your hair all of a sudden." And he said, that gave me motivation. I want to go out and win this race for Parker and show him those gray stripes aren't slowing me down any, son.
Look at that, started 35th for unapproved adjustments. Worked his way all the way up to 9th. He's got himself a hot rod right now.
I love that. Great charge for Stewart. You talked about dirt racing. This guy will be dirt racing tomorrow night, I bet. He loves it, and this track will really plays into a dirt racer's hands.
See Ross Chastain getting ahead of Matt Mills right there. That puts him into the free pass position right now. So Ross did what he needed to do right there, and now the goal is going to be, okay, let's not use this stuff up. Let's just do what I have to do for a little while here and see if we can't catch this caution.
Guys, I'm surprised the truck that he just went around, the one of Brent Cruz, that he's not running a little bit stronger. I mean, this kid gets behind the wheel of anything, and he can wheel it up in the top, if not take home the win, which he did just a few hours or 2 hours ago in the ARCA Menards series. But his tongue was wagging. This is a hot, hot day, and to do 2 races at once is a lot.
See, just ahead of Ross is Jake Garcia. We talked about the speed he's shown lately, but he's one of the last trucks on the lead lap in that 13 right there. And there's his teammate, Ben Rhodes, as well, struggling.
And Jake has been so good much of this season, but as of late, it's fallen off just a little bit on him. And man, looked like he was in a position at one point this year, as we see a great battle with teammates right now side by side. Looked like he was in a position to maybe point his way into the playoffs, and that's drastically changed. We get a couple winners from the outside looking in, and Rajat Karuth as well as Stewart Friesen, and now all of a sudden he's on the outside looking in. So we talked about the importance of this race for those playoff cut line guys tonight, and certainly Jake is one of those guys.
What about Brent Cruz? He must have heard you, Jamie. He's turned up the wick. He's all over Chastain, trying to get himself back into position to get his lap back. One truck right there on the back tailgate of the 44.
Brent will have to do a perfect job to get past this 44, because I can promise you Ross Chastain will not be an easy pass when he gets there, knowing that that they are battling for that free pass position right now.
You think he knows how to make his truck a little wider than the rest?
I think he can find a couple extra feet on either side of it if he needs to. I definitely think that.
Here's Caden Honeycutt on the march forward. He wasn't as strong as we expected in that first stage. They tuned on that just a little bit. He's going in the right direction right now. Picks up another spot from Tanner Gray.
There is racing all over this track, guys. We talked about how racy it is, and we're seeing it. There's one guy, though, that's saying, I got this.
How about this? Layne Riggs never lost a race when he's led over 50 laps. He's done that already, led 64 laps and counting. He's your leader at IRP. biggest baseball night in America, and it's showtime as Shohei Ohtani leads the Dodgers against the Red Sox, or the Guardians take on the Royals. Check the local listings for the game in your area. That's tomorrow at 7 Eastern, only on Fox. And guess what time it is, guys?
Ooh.
Speedway Classic coming your way August 2nd. That is next Saturday. We've been talking about this, well, for a year.
We sold over 80,000 tickets. I'm going to be there. It's going to be an amazing event. I cannot wait to watch the Braves and the Reds do battle.
And the pictures that are coming out of Bristol right now with that ball field in the middle of it.
It doesn't look real.
It really doesn't. And so many cool things that they've done at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Marcus Smith and his whole group they've done a fantastic job of just creating awesome events in that Coliseum there.
I went to a Reds game during our break, and they invited me to come out and deliver the game ball to the mound. And everybody just wanted to talk about the Speedway Classic. Like, what's it going to be like? Of course, all the race fans, the players who know NASCAR, they're stoked on this. So, you know what question I get? Is there going to be a NASCAR race going on while the baseball game is happening? I don't think that's possible.
There you see Frankie Muniz as Butterbean. Brendan Queen slips by on the inside. He just got around the 19 of Daniel Hemrick. They're racing hard here just outside the top 10.
First time we've mentioned Daniel Hemrick tonight. A little bit of news last week. He and his teammate Jack Wood in the 91, they swapped teams, including their crew chiefs. They've kept their pit crews and their spotters, Caitlin, but that was big news out of this team.
Yeah, it certainly was. I had a chance to ask Daniel about that exact thing, and he said, when you look at the score box, we've had a very respectable season, but he said when it came to pace and practice and qualifying, we felt like we were off. So they wanted to make that swap with the crew chiefs, with the entire crews. He said to try and shorten the gap to the competition as they approach the playoffs. So now he does have Kevin Bellicourt with him, who he said he feels like is a good leader. So far the communication has been good, but of course they will be learning and adapting as they go here today, Jamie.
Yes, and his crew chief, Josh Graham, is new this year to the team, and he's moved over to Jack Woods. So tough situation, but it all comes down to results.
And I like what the team did right there, right? If you know that you've got a break before the playoffs like the Truck Series has had this year, take that opportunity to make that change right now. Give yourself 3 weeks for Daniel Hemrick and Kevin Bellicourt to work together, to get to know each other, and to figure things out just a little bit. So a good time to do that, and you can lead into the playoffs and not have to be learning something new.
Just a little update. Only a second and 3/10 separate second place Ty Majeski. We saw how Layne Riggs drove away from these guys in stage one. I think Majeski's made that 98 truck better. He's able to keep pace with the 34. You can see just out the windshield there as Majeski exits turn 4.
And something to keep an eye on for the end of the race, Michael. It was about the same point, about 30 laps into the run was when Ty Majeski kind of started to maybe inch forward a little bit in the last run. Layne Riggs was kind of able to neutralize that, but that's when it appears that Ty Majeski's truck seems to start getting to his best, and we'll have to see as we get a little further into this run, as we get closer to the end of the stage, who has the better truck at that point.
Oh, caution.
Caution is out for the first time for incident. It is the 22, and they had a driver change earlier.
Josh Rayum
took over the reins from AJ Waller, and now he gets into the wall. So a lot going on with this team in just the last 20 minutes.
See heavy damage to that right side.
And that's got every appearance as to maybe sliding up with the right rear into the wall at some point. Don't know if there was contact to cause that or if it just got loose. And you see Josh as he's unclipping stuff there, very frustrated. We saw the steering wheel. He was not happy with the steering wheel for a moment there. And
wonder if maybe he got a little help then if he's upset.
I'm wondering that as we talk about how he slid into the wall and seeing that frustration.
Well, he's also the team owner. So you lose a truck, you get in the wall like that, it's a lot of damage. Costs a lot of money to fix these trucks, and you know they don't have a bunch of them. Let's see what happened here in progress.
Oh, he had gotten into that. Looked like with the right front. Is that tire flat? I think he went in right front first, Regan.
Does look like right front, yep.
Probably just blew a tire, maybe.
Not sure if it was right front first or if maybe he backed in and it slapped around, because the tire there appears to be up right now on the right front. So
yeah, definitely fell off.
Tough break.
Halfway through this race at IRP, Layne Riggs continues to lead. We'll step aside under caution. Sunday, the UEFA Women's World Euro Final is on Fox. England looks to become back-to-back tournament champs as they take on Spain. Coverage begins Sunday at 11 Eastern on Fox. And we welcome you back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. 97 laps to go. Layne Riggs has led the most laps, continues to lead now. Corey Heim, the only other lap leader. He led 20 laps earlier, and Ross Chastain is the free pass, so he is back on the lead lap. Let's get an update on Rajah Caruth, Josh.
Well, yeah, it was a good day to start for Rajah Caruth, running in the 4th position, but they got damage on that right front, had to come in and address it, then came back in to try and fix that up. But you see that damage right there on the right front. They tried to tape it up to fix a bit of a hole there right now that the 71 has, Caitlin.
Yeah, Josh, and Grant Enfinger, one of the other teams who elected to pit here, he was saying he's tighter through the center. They made an air pressure adjustment for him. Remember, he is a former winner here at IRP, came into the race 60 above the cup line. Told me he was hoping they could capitalize, potentially secure their spot with a victory today. Right now, occupying the 14th spot, Jamie.
Thank you for those updates.
Yeah, that's interesting because he said he made an air pressure adjustment. That means he took tires, did Grant Enfinger. And so will he just stay out at the end of this stage? I think there is some positioning. I've heard some chatter on the radio. Maybe pit now, stay out at the end of the next stage.
Yeah, I think that's the play, right? Is you got to do something different and try something different. And we had heard from some of the crew chiefs earlier today that was maybe the cutoff was right around 20 laps to go as to where maybe you would try something different and see if you couldn't get that track position. So I like it. Try something. If you don't think you're the best truck right now, try something.
Do you kind of take it easy for these 15 laps that are going to come to get to the end of the stage? Don't abuse your tires at all, and so that they're not burnt up as bad as they might be if you went hard?
I just got a question if you really can afford to do that, Michael. And we saw the number of trucks that pitted there. It looks like somewhere around 10 trucks roughly that chose to pit that time. And as they're going to come and make the choose right now and determine which lane they want. But I don't think you can afford to take it easy right here.
Whoa. Majeski went high as well with Layne Riggs, both of them electing to go up to the top. What about the Fords, 1, 2, 3?
And thinking back to the original start of the race and what we saw happen with Corey Heim having a great start on the bottom, Ty Majeski struggling on the stop or on the top, and we saw the exact opposite of it on the previous restart when Ty Majeski was on the bottom. He stayed closer to Layne Riggs, so maybe a little bit of question marks as to which lane some of these guys want exactly and just feeling it out. I know Layne Riggs said, I'm taking the top and I'm staying on the top.
Well, and I think, getting the chance, being the guy that launches, and if you're Ty Majeski, you're going to launch behind Layne Riggs. He thinks that may be the best way for him to get to second position because he knows how strong that 34 truck is.
But that just means one thing. Chandler Smith, we haven't seen what he's capable of, have not seen him restart on the front row. He's starting alongside his teammate Layne Riggs. So remember, Chandler Smith is the winner of the last 2 short track races. There'll be 14 laps to go in stage number 2 when we take this green flag once again. Chandler Smith so far down on the bottom, 3 wide.
Nearly some contact there amongst our leaders. All squeezed together, exiting turn 2. Chandler's doing his best to keep that inside rolling.
And Ty definitely wanted to try and make it 3 wide right there. That hole closed up, and because of it, you're going to see him lose the second spot now as Chandler Smith's able to clear him coming off of turn 4.
This is the kind of racing we come to expect here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Teammates up there battling for the lead. Layne Riggs is cleared.
Look who's joining the party, Jamie.
Corey Heim.
Here comes Corey Heim after an adjustment. That 11 truck's looking really strong right now. He was on the outside trying to get around Majeski. Majeski rode him up high.
He had fallen back in that first stage. Then he had a little hiccup on pit road, cost him a little extra time, but they were able to make some big adjustments to that 11 truck.
And I hate to mention this right now, but they're all going to want to keep an eye on Stewart Friesen, one of those trucks that pitted and got 4 tires, and he is coming in. He's coming in a hurry right now. That truck is fast. We've talked about the tire fall off. If this works out, Stewart Friesen could end up getting all the way up there and getting a playoff point because of that decision.
And he is in the playoffs, locked in with that exciting, dramatic win at Michigan. Now he drives up to the 4th position. Look at him. Going 3 wide. Makes that move. I think this is over with. I think Stewart Friesen goes and wins. Well, I don't know. Layne's got pretty big gap out there. I was getting excited for Stewart. It's his birthday, you know.
Stewart Friesen into 3rd. Regan mentioned it. You win a stage, you get that 1 point that you carry over to the playoffs. Corey Heim's been a master of it. 39 points earned this year that he will take to the playoffs.
There's the move for 2nd for Friesen. He's got 9 laps to see if he can chase down Layne Riggs. Layne was the fastest truck on the track last time.
Old tires versus new tires right here. Separated by about a foot.
Stewart needs to get clear off of turn 4 this time. That's going to be important, which he does. And now he can at least have those 8 laps to have that clean track in front of him. But you see that Layne Riggs continued to stretch that gap as he was trying to get through the field, and it's going to get close. It'll be close if he's got enough time.
It's going to be fun to watch. He's going to try to maximize, use up those tires. He's going to be a sitting duck if he stays out at the end of this stage, though, isn't he?
7 laps to go in this stage. Our leader, Layne Riggs, with about a 1.5-second lead over Stewart Friesen. Does he have enough time to get there?
Stewart was fastest on the track last time by, but only by 1/10 of a second. Layne was 2nd.
And Michael, I think that you and I are seeing the same thing. It's impressive that Stewart's as good as he is right now, but Layne Riggs more so on old tires, 30, almost 35 lap older tires right now than Stewart Friesen. To be clicking off the lap times that he is right now, that I would be a little concerned if I was the rest of the field.
Guys, Ben Rhodes, he was one of those trucks as well that pitted. He is on the move, up 13 spots since that restart. We were just talking about him. He was outside the top 10, now battling, looking for a top 5 finish in this 2nd stage. 5 laps to go.
That yellow and black truck, Grant Enfinger, he also pitted, and he's making some strong moves just behind Ben Rhodes there. Grant gets clear off turn 2, put him up into the top 5.
Mr. Newlywed, Caden Honeycutt in the 45, up to 7th.
He's on those fresher tires as well.
And the other thing you got to notice here, right, as we talk about Grant Enfinger as well as Caden Honeycutt, 2 guys that while they're above the cut line and pretty well above the cut line, they're still thinking, let's make sure we get some stage points here too, and maybe a play there to make sure and ensure that they get as many stage points as they can, and that they try and help themselves as much as they can.
Another 2/10 a race for Grant Enfinger there that lap. Only has 3 more though, not enough time, I don't think, Regan.
Corey Heim there in the 11. Last pitted on lap 65.
And it's real interesting. You know, we talked about Layne Riggs and how good he is on these tires that were older and that had a cycle. And what we mean by a cycle is it means that they essentially got hot, you cooled them off under yellow, and they're getting hot again. Well, his truck seems to be doing fine with it, but there's a couple other. Corey Heim, his truck seems to be doing okay with it. Ty Majeski, not so much. He seems to be struggling just a little bit. That's something they'll put in their notebook for later.
Final lap of stage number 2. Layne Riggs looking to sweep the stages. And those valuable points they're looking for. And he's able to hang on. Stewart Friesen closes the gap, but not enough. He ends up 2nd in this stage.
Whoa! Was that a celebration, or I won another stage? I'm gonna go get some fresh tires. You boys are in trouble.
I think that's a driver that knows that he's getting fresh tires in a moment. Otherwise, you don't want to do that.
I think that was an exclamation point for Layne Riggs.
That's exactly what it was, Jamie.
Picked up his 6th stage win of the season. The 34 is on a roll, but he has 80 laps to go. Can he hang on for his 2nd win of the season? Pit stops next. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from Indianapolis Raceway Park, presented by Mother's High Performance Car Care. What a beautiful night of racing. It is hot though, it is sticky, and we've seen some great action slipping and sliding around there. And guys, we had 10 drivers pit on lap 102. End of stage 2 now. What's the play call?
That's a great question.
I like that.
It could be split. You pit now, you don't have any more tires. If there's a caution late, we've seen the fall off. That could be the end of your night. But if you stay out right now without a buffer behind you, you're going to be a sitting duck. So I think it's going to be interesting to see which crew chiefs say, I'm going to save that set, sacrifice our run right now, and then get them later in the run. But I'm telling you what, as these laps go by, there's going to be more pushing, shoving. It's going to get more and more aggressive as we race forward.
I do love the aggressiveness, and you think about some of the guys that did stay out right there when we think about the playoffs, or that pitted right there, and we think about the playoffs. You have Grant Enfinger. He takes the chance, right? You've got Stewart Friesen, who has the win. He's just trying to get a playoff point, and you've got Caden Honeycutt, who also came and got those tires. They get some stage points that helps them just a little bit with that buffer that they're looking for above that 10th place spot, and we'll have to see what they decide to do. Otherwise, if I'm the driver, I want to save that set, but I'm scared because I don't want to be on old tires right now.
Especially with the pushing and shoving that I told you is getting ready to go down. So this is going to be interesting, a very pivotal point of the race, I believe.
Well, Layne Riggs has just been lights out, but who can keep up with him? Can Stewart Friesen make that right adjustment? Does he even come here? We'll find out in just moments. As pit road opens up, they're going to be coming your way, Josh.
Talk about how good the 34 has been. Well, Chandler Smith is noticing how good his teammate is. He says he's got so much better front turn than I do. He wants that front turn. He also needs a little bit more drive off to catch that 34 the way he wants to, Caitlin.
Well, Ben Rhodes at the middle of your screen, one of the drivers below the cut line coming into this racing, is a tick tight center. He needs more help to try and get that 99 truck to turn. The 34 of Layne Riggs, stage 1 and 2 winner, saying he's a little bit tight, but entry to exit really good. Overall, Layne very happy with that 34 truck. Jamie?
Thank you, Caitlin, as you watch work continuing on the 11 truck, bottom of your screen. Working on the left side as Layne Riggs, another great stop by his team. Ben Rhodes.
Majeski out there in the top 5, as you see Chandler Smith as well. Had a few of those guys stay out, Regan.
It's going to make it interesting when we get the restart.
We are racing under the lights at Indianapolis. The third and final stage is coming up next. Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Third and final stage is upon us, guys. Just like that, this has been a quick one, but how about this? The first 6 drivers in this lineup stayed out, and behind them, fresh
tires. And I'm telling you, we talked about and tried to sell earlier 4, possibly 5 wide. We're getting ready to see it because new tires are so important. These guys are going to be on the charge, and the first 6 trucks are at a deficit. So where will they all go? How do you get through that mess?
And there's a part of me right now, if I'm Layne Riggs, right, having so far the dominant truck tonight, well, now I'm back in the 7th position. I got to protect the fenders on my truck. I got to protect the nose right here, and I don't want to tear this thing up. It's been so good, but at the same time, I want to get back to the front as quick as I can.
I want to get up on the edge of my couch if I'm sitting at home watching. I want to see this restart. We saw how strong Stewart was on the older tires, but those tires are no match for the new ones that are behind him. All he's hoping for is they get crazy behind him, he can get him a gap, run out there and get a little bit of an advantage.
And that'll be the key. Get the gap as early as you can, much like what Layne Riggs did on the last restart.
All right, boys, buckle those belts.
Oh, yeah.
One more time. Seen a lot of drivers up front we have not seen there all night long. Can they hang on and hold off new tires? We're about to find out. Green flag is in the air for the 3rd stage from Indianapolis as they fan out behind him. That's Layne Riggs dropping to the bottom. Stewart Friesen trying to take the lead on his birthday and his 200th start.
Was that 5 wide that we saw there?
I think we saw your 5 wide finally, and they made it through it too.
Look at this action
craziness.
All over.
Ben Rhodes, he's on those fresher tires.
Luke Fenhouse.
Little contact to the outside wall for Luke Fenhouse there. No harm, no foul though. Short track racing.
Look at Corey Heim trying to find a hole to get around Luke Fenhouse.
He wants to get ahead of Layne Riggs. He knows how solid Layne's been, and you can see he's gapped him there, got a couple of truck links on him. He knows that could be the key to winning this race when this all shakes out.
And I like the move by Corey Heim, right? Took it all the way to the top and go where they're not. That's exactly what he did. Layne's been down on the bottom, just kind of got boxed in a little bit with so many trucks.
Through the middle. Corey Heim on the charge back. Led 20 laps earlier, but it has been all Layne Riggs, and you see him trying to close that gap, keeping the 11 in his sights.
He's got to be patient right here. It looked like Corey did a better job using that high line, as you pointed out, Regan, getting through this traffic. Layne went to the bottom, and it couldn't quite make the ground that Corey did. Stewart's doing a nice job up front on those older tires. New tires, 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
And right now, Stewart Friesen seeing that these new tires they're coming forward, right, and they're getting closer and closer to him, and he's thinking, man, let me get as much space as I can right here. If I can get them to where they're 10, 15 laps on the tires, maybe I can neutralize it just enough to where I can hold on to this lead.
Well, he's done a nice job of this strategy, taking advantage of a fast truck, getting tires, getting up front, and now holding the lead. I think the play has worked out for the 52 team.
So Stewart Friesen continues to lead on those older tires. Ben Rhodes hangs on to 2nd, but Heim not making it easy as Layne Riggs is right there. What a battle.
Look at Layne under attack on the 11 truck. Thought he was, look at that, how fast he is through the center, Regan.
Just a great drive through the center, but you see he gave it up on exit right there. He tried to show a fender there, and it just didn't quite work out.
Wow, you got to be impressed with what Stewart's doing right now. Using that clear track ahead of him and running the line he wants.
And gotta wonder, I'm sure they were seeing the same things that we were seeing, Michael, in terms of the lap times on older tires and how good Stewart's 52 truck was, and a calculated risk, right? Let's take that chance now, and if we do get to the point where we've got the lead, then let the driver do it from there. Let him figure out how to manage them and try to keep them up front. Very, very impressive right now. And you know, equally as impressive of a call for Ben Rhodes, who took those tires 2 stops ago. Only question mark I've got for Ben Rhodes is if we get a late race yellow, he is out of tires now. He has taken his final set, and that's all he's got.
He's in trouble, and I think that Corey Heim, Layne Riggs thinks this might be the battle for the win right here between these 2 trucks. They've been really solid. Look at that, down low. Whoa.
Just great short track racing.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to show you the nose. You're going to chop me off. I'm going to try and pass you again. It's a dog of cat or a game of cat and mouse right now, and just trying to figure out a way to get where they're not.
Short track racing under the lights. These trucks are sparking all over the place. Racing at Indianapolis, you both have talked about just how amazing this track is, the history of this place. It never disappoints, and we're seeing that right here.
I think Layne's a little bit better, but he just can't find a way around Corey. And remember, I think at North Wilkesboro, these two kind of went at it, wound up in the wall or around backwards for Heim. Race car drivers don't tend to forget things like that. That might be why he's maybe squeezing a little bit more, but look who's on the inside.
I believe they've had words, not once, but maybe a couple of times. Corey Heim and Layne Riggs, side by side, can't shake each other. Battle for third.
And Corey Heim wants to make this pass as difficult as he can on Layne Riggs, making him use those tires, but Layne
does it for now.
Well, now Layne's in the preferred position, right? He appeared to be a little bit quicker, and now he's got that outside groove. As long as he doesn't get boxed in behind the 99 of Ben Rhodes, he should be able to eventually complete this. It might make a liar out of me here in a second as they get the run down the front stretch, but he should be able to eventually complete this and then be able to go attack Ben Rhodes potentially.
Well, I don't know, Regan. These guys, they're not making a liar out of you. That's just good short track racing, showing you how crazy things are here at IRP. There's the completed pass. Now he's going to go after Ben Rhodes. And meanwhile, Stewart Friesen, he's just living life large, isn't it?
Everything that he's seeing right now out of his rearview mirror, he's loving, and he wants them to keep battling, keep using these tires up right now. And you know, we saw a little bit of Friesen in the shot there a moment ago. It looked like he was maybe wagging the tail off the corner a little bit, and he knows what these guys are getting closer.
How about Layne Riggs, that slide right up in front of the 99 of Ben Rhodes. He's got his sights set on Stewart Friesen. Less than a second behind him. 57 laps to go in this one.
That's the really preferred line that 34 truck is working on. We usually see guys up higher on the racetrack, but he's just been so solid down on the bottom all night long. Look at that, right down next to the grass.
And it's amazing. We can see him run laps by the grass quick and then move up to the top and still be quick and just, you know, very easy to maneuver that 34 truck. Very reminiscent of what we saw at Ty Majeski last year when he had the pit road penalty and had to go from the rear of the field all the way back through to the front. That's exactly how this 34 looks right now.
And you see Stewart Friesen, he goes down there to try to take Layne's lane away. And Layne says, it's okay, I'm pretty good up top too.
Battle for the lead here at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Layne Riggs, he's been the dominant one tonight. He's led the most laps. Woo! What a battle. Old tires versus new tires.
Stewart said, I got a crossover left in me. See if we can make it work.
And I think, unfortunately for Stewart right here, as we've been watching the lap times as Layne Riggs has caught him, it's going to be inevitable. He was closer to 0.3 of a second a lap quicker as he had that open track and was able to catch up to him, and you see the end result. Now it's going to be stay as close as you can.
Layne Riggs has led more laps tonight than all of 2025 combined. 106 laps led, and he's back to the front. Welcome back to Indianapolis Raceway Park for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith, and Josh Sims, Caitlin Vinci joining you. Glad to have you on this Friday evening for some short track racing under the lights. It's been all about Layne Riggs, guys. He had to earn it that time, started a little farther back, took his time, finally got around Stewart Friesen, and here he goes, slicing and dicing his way back through.
Regan, if you're Layne Riggs, you got the lead now. Do you chill a little bit? Maybe not run the 100% lap times, just take it easy on those rear tires?
Yeah, and I was just thinking the same thing, Michael, because we saw as he caught Stewart Friesen, it was about 2 to 3 tenths of a second a lap, and Stewart's done a nice job of hanging in there with him, and I'm honestly questioning that right now a little bit. Is he saving, or is Stewart just adjusting and finding a way to get a little more speed out of the 52?
Well, the first 3 trucks weren't in the top 5 times that last time by. So there's definitely, I think it's just positioning for Layne Riggs. He's just running fast enough to keep the lead right along the bottom, keep that truck up under him in case we go all the way to the checker without a caution. That's hard to do, isn't it, though? You know, you look in your mirror and that truck behind you getting bigger and bigger, like, I better step on it a little bit.
I think from a driver's perspective, you can't help but give it a little bit more and give it a little more. And meanwhile, your crew chief maybe is telling you, hey, save me a little bit. And yeah, that's one of the toughest things to do.
You saw that graphic. Just what Layne Riggs has done tonight. We've talked about it. I mean, he runs up front about every single week, but he has led more laps tonight than he has all season long combined.
If you're worried about Layne's pace, last time by, he was the fastest truck over Stewart Friesen by almost 3 tenths of a second. So I think there's something in the tank there for the 34.
Little management happening.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. That's smart. Now let's ask another question, Regan. We talked about it earlier. Caution with, say, 20 to go. Do all these leaders that have fresh tires go in there and get them?
I don't know that I want to be a crew chief if that happens, Michael. And we see right here a good battle going on with Corey Day and Corey Heim right now. And Corey Day doing a fantastic job. We talked about him earlier in the race. He's now battling for 3rd place right here and has had a lot of speed in that number 7 truck tonight. Just continuing to impress the past few weeks.
A lot of racers were high on Corey Day from what he did in the dirt world. They said he's going to be the next superstar. I think he's showing tonight he has the potential to be just that. What a strong run for this 7 truck.
And Kyle Larson led that effort. He really talked to his team, Hendrick Motorsports, and said, you got to get this guy in a truck or a car. He is the next best thing. And it was not easy for him. Corey Day struggled, guys. He didn't even have a top 10 until we went to Nashville. Suddenly gets a top 5, and tonight he's running like he's been in the truck series for multiple years.
It's amazing, you know, what momentum, not only momentum does, but also seat time and laps and you know, when it clicks for a driver, oftentimes we see that. We know that's a good truck, and we know that he's a good driver. Right?
Look at that.
He's a good driver, and making the bottom work. I love watching these trucks when they can just hook the bottom like that and find a way to slowly inch up. And that takes a lot of discipline also, right? That you feel like you're not completing the pass, but if you're gaining 2 or 3 feet a lap, that's all you've got to do. Just keep gaining 2 or 3 feet.
I'm glad you said that word, Regan. I was thinking the same thing, discipline. It's so hard to watch another guy on the outside just go 3 truck lengths deeper into the corner than you. Stay patient, keep working that bottom, using your line, and just getting a half a truck length, a corner is all you're looking for. Maybe a quarter of a truck length, just anything.
The battle continues here between Corey Heim and Corey Day, battling for 3rd. They are 2 seconds behind the leader, Layne Riggs. We're going to step aside, but you won't miss a thing as we go Fox side by side. 2 laps to go from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Layne Riggs continues to lead just under a second over Stewart Friesen. Corey Day has gotten around Corey Heim. That battle was going on and on, and what a night he's having.
What a statement he's making here tonight on the short track in Indiana. Driving around the dominant driver of the 25 season, Corey Day, making himself known. Hendrick development driver, as you mentioned, Jamie, found by Kyle Larson, and Kyle said, we got to get this guy on our team.
And you know, he is that story that you guys hear throughout NASCAR. Clovis, California, from Northern California, gets the call, did not believe that it was Jeff Gordon calling him, wanted to see a picture to make sure it was him offering him this ride. Packs up his car right after his birthday with his girlfriend. They drove cross country to North Carolina just on a dream, a wing and a prayer, hoping they can make it stick. And tonight he's really shown what Kyle Larson and others have seen in him.
And since he's gotten around, Corey Heim has been clicking off some pretty good lap times. I think we've come to the conclusion that Layne Riggs may be just saving a little bit, but certainly doing some lap times that could potentially see him battling for second at some point.
Yeah, he had about a 10th on Stewart Friesen last time by, trails Stewart by about a second, so he could get there eventually as you see Layne working his way through lap traffic. Tough day for Gio Ruggiero. It just hasn't been strong at all, battling for that last playoff spot. This is not what he was looking for.
And uncharacteristic for what we've come to expect out of him this year in terms of performance and consistency. And you know, you're going to have bumps in the road in a rookie season like that, and you don't want him to come this close to the playoff time. Unfortunately, it has, and you just have to take good notes and come back stronger at Indianapolis next year.
Down on the bottom there, Connor Mosack, he will go a lap down. Butterbean Queen is next on the radar for Layne Riggs as he's racing up toward the top 15, putting guys a lap down. Shows you how strong this truck is.
You know, interesting too, Layne, you know, this is a track he's got the most experience of any track he's been to on the Craftsman Truck Series circuit, and has run here the past 4 years, or this is his 4th time running here. But I talked to him a little bit earlier about that. He said, I have a lot of comfort when we come here. And they were good last year as well, but completely different setup, according to what he told me earlier today, and trying something new. They felt like they needed to be just a little bit better, and knew what the strength of their truck was last year. It was corner entry. He said, man, my truck was so good on corner entry, so we got a little more aggressive with trying to get through the middle of the corner better. And whatever he and crew chief Dylan Capello have done, it is definitely paying off.
That's funny because I asked Layne earlier today, I said, are you happy and ready to go? He said, I'm always happy. I'm in the racetrack and I'm definitely ready to go. Well, I think he knew what he's talking about.
Layne Riggs, next truck in sight is that one, the 07 Brendan Butterbean Queen, doing double duty tonight. Finished 3rd in the ARCA Menards race. Not running as strong, but it is his debut for Spire here in the Truck Series, Caitlin.
Yeah, Jamie, there's a lot of anticipation, obviously, for Brendan Queen coming into this race. He told me how important this race was for him in terms of future opportunities in the Truck Series, which is where he wants to be. But right now, tonight, he's staying still way too tight after rounds of adjustments. He says his drive is okay, but I just can't turn the truck the way that I need to. But obviously, he's been very impressive, as you mentioned, in the ARCA Menards Series. 4 wins there, but hoping for more opportunities in the trucks, Jamie.
Yeah, looking for that championship. He's leading the points in the ARCA Menards Series, but right now 17th.
2024 Cars late model champion, and he's on those older tires, Regan, so he's just hoping for a caution right now so he can get in, get a fresh set of tires, and go scratch a top 10 out of this. And I think if that does happen, if the caution flies, he's going to do just that.
Yeah, and interesting. We watched Brendan Queen in practice some earlier today, Michael, and looked like maybe he was struggling for grip on the corner exit, and Caitlin with some great information there telling us he's just too tight through the middle, and you got to wonder if maybe that team didn't say, hey, we're going to adjust and try and help that exit, and it just didn't do quite what they wanted to do.
But he's just such a solid young racer, just does a great job no matter what he gets in. Very fast, really smart, takes care of his equipment. I think he's going to be around for a long time to come.
As the leader, Layne Riggs crosses the line. We've reached our Craftsman, 20 to go. Short track racing flies by when you're having fun.
Oh, we're having fun too. The leader is in control of this race, but battles all over the racetrack. Stories about pit strategy, who's going to be coming to pit road if there's a caution.
See Caden Honeycutt battling here with Tyler Gray and battle for the 14th position. Tyler Gray early in the race, we thought maybe he was making a little bit of noise, and just once it's gotten dark out and the track's cooled off, maybe faded just a little bit and struggling to get back up to where he was earlier.
See him battling that 45 truck, loose up off turn 4. And then here we go 3 wide.
It's the battle for 5th. Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski.
Grant Enfinger's on those older tires. We talk about the job Stewart Friesen's done. You got to give it up for Grant Enfinger too, hanging in that top 5.
And Grant knew what kind of a truck he had in practice. They were the quickest in practice. He felt really good about the truck. They were working on what adjustments they wanted to do when it became nighttime. And, you know, I think for him to be able to hold off on those older tires, doing a very nice job. Ty Majeski, man, I gotta believe he's going to be a little bit frustrated when the night gets over with here. Just not necessarily showing the speed that we would have expected out of Ty tonight. I thought he'd be up there battling with Layne Riggs, and it just hasn't quite worked out for him.
Well, he won the last 2 straight races here. You know, they circle that on their calendar like this is our shot. Let's lock us into the playoffs, not have to worry about that point situation, but now they're going to have to wait a little bit longer. 2 races remaining before the playoffs. We've got Watkins Glen coming up next weekend, and then we have a weekend off, and then it's our final race, you know, another short track. We'll see what happens.
What about this battle for 2nd? Corey Day has tracked down Stewart Friesen. Just right around the bottom of this racetrack. I like watching that. That looks fun.
It looks fun, and he's doing a great job of it. And you see that Stewart Friesen's actually moved down the track just a little bit too. Maybe a spotter telling him, hey, he's been catching it and he's been doing it on the bottom. So see if you can go find the grip that he's finding down there.
Stewart Friesen and Grant Enfinger are the only 2 trucks in the top 10 on those older tires. That just shows you what a great job these 2 veterans have done here at IRP. But the kid, Corey Day, is stalking him.
Well, if you like short track racing, we do have 2 more coming up. Watkins Glen, then we go to Richmond, and then we kick off the playoffs at Darlington. We go to Bristol, and we have Martinsville once again.
And you don't think Corey Day's trying hard right now? Did you see the hands off at turn 4? He is working right now. He knows that that's 2nd place, and I love what he did there. He just went to the top for the first time in probably the last 10 laps, and look at the run he got. Look at how he made it work. Once he realized that Stewart went to the bottom, he said, okay, I'm going to change my lane, and made it work immediately.
But don't you love what Stewart did? He said, I see you down there, kid. I'm going to take that away. Corey Day said, I think I'm good on the top as well. Better than you right now, Stewart.
Corey Day, the 19-year-old. Making his 11th career Truck Series start, takes over that 2nd spot. Another impressive run. Top 5 for the first time at Nashville. And he's had to wait over a month and a half since he's been behind the wheel of a truck.
Let's look at that deficit. You see just 2.5 seconds between Corey Day and Layne Riggs. Layne, we're wondering if he's 80% up front because the last couple of laps, Corey Day into 2nd. He's been faster than Riggs. Fastest truck on the track, number 7.
Certainly needs to keep doing that. I'm not sure that I don't know that he's got enough time with the lap trucks involved in the middle of it as well, but I can promise you we've seen Corey Day's hands and we know that he's going to try to get there.
10 laps to go here from Indianapolis. Layne Riggs has had a spectacular night. Picks up stage 1, stage 2. He's led 150 laps, looking for his 2nd win on the season.
And just how much fun is Layne Riggs having right now, right? When you have a night like tonight, it's rare that you get a truck this good, and you feel like you can do whatever you want with it. You can place it wherever you want. So now the thought process in his mind has turned to, okay, guys, let's keep this clean and green to the end. We don't want to have to put ourselves in a situation where we got to decide, do we pit or do we stay out? So he's really pulling for the whole field right now and telling the whole field, let's get this through to the end of the race.
Regan, you and I have both been in the same situation. Got to lead late in the race. And the only thing he's thinking, no caution, no caution. Let's keep it clean, guys. I've got my game going on. I know exactly what I've got to do to win this race. Y'all keep your stuff together back there. Let's not have any cautions late.
And to this field's credit, they have tonight. We've had one incident, one caution for incident.
As you speak, Jamie, could we see enough? Look at that mess.
I'm not doing the announcer curse here. We'll keep it green as they're 3 wide, racing to the finish.
Wow. As we just thought things were getting a little calm late in the going, they show this battle inside the top 10. Trucks all over the place. Ross Chastain's recovered from that pit road problem. He's racing in 11th.
Tyler Ankrum, he's been running top 10 all night in that 18 truck. Raja Karuth, the 71.
Tyler, sneaky good on these short tracks, trying to get his 11th straight top 10 finish on a short track, and doesn't want to give up any of these spots. He wants to see that through.
Raja came to pit road for an extra stop due to some damage on the right front. He's recovered. Can't quite do anything with Ankrum there.
5 laps to go. Layne Riggs.
I'm glad Layne Riggs couldn't see all that, Regan. Talk about making somebody nervous if he was watching that battle.
Healthy lead for that man in the 34. Such a big night for this young man, the 23-year-old out of Bahama, North Carolina.
And when you think about the season, Jamie, as a whole, and I think for the most part, Corey Haim has been just absolutely dominating this season, right? And we haven't seen Layne Riggs necessarily dominate a race quite like this yet this year. But in the big picture, as the season goes on, that is big momentum for that team. And as we keep saying it, as we get closer to the playoffs, you want to have the momentum. You want your competitors thinking about you just a little bit and thinking, what have they found? Did they find something we don't have?
And think about last year. Tom Majeski got hot at the right time of the season, and you're seeing the same thing maybe right now from Layne Riggs. And I don't think it would surprise a soul if he didn't go on and be one of the championship 4.
I love when we saw Layne Riggs get his first win last year, and he jumps out and he celebrates, and he popped out his shoulder and he bent over in pain, but he smiled through it all. Had off-season surgery. It's good to go. We saw him celebrate just a couple weeks ago, and he's ready to do it again. His father, Scott Riggs, always around the racetrack. You know him from racing in NASCAR for years and years. So proud of his young son.
Got to be proud of this performance tonight as he takes the white flag.
Final lap at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Layne Riggs, what a standout night. Won stage 1, stage 2. Held off a hard-charging Corey Haim, Ty Majeski, even Stewart Friesen. Led the most laps tonight, 159. As he makes the trek on down, checkered flag is in the air. Layne Riggs gets it done in Indianapolis.
What a good feeling for that entire team to not only be celebrating. We didn't say much about his pit crew tonight, but did a nice job of doing what they needed to do on pit road, a complete team effort. And how nice is that on the last lap to be able to drive halfway down the front stretch and wave at your team, knowing that you got enough of a lead to do that.
Look at the emotion.
It's a lot of love right there. As you see, Loves is on the side of that truck a lot of the time. Beautiful 34 truck.
Dylan Capello is crew chief, doing a great job. Just a very young team. So much momentum. These fans have been out here all day, and we've talked about the heat, guys. It feels like 95 degrees. It hasn't gone down much since the drop of the green flag.
Front Row Motorsports celebrating a win with Layne Riggs.
14th career win for Front Row Motorsports.
truck looks brand new, doesn't it, Regan? Looks as good as it did when they unloaded it.
We talked about the final restart of the race, having to try and get through that traffic and not damage it. And, it looked like maybe he gave up a little bit as he was trying to do that to Corey Heim. And looks like he knew what he was doing. He did it just right.
Yes, sir.
And Corey Heim, he battled till the end, brought it home fourth, guys, but it was good enough to clinch the regular season championship.
There he is, climbing out with that championship. Regular season celebrating right now.
It speaks to the dominance of what they've done this year to have 2 races left in the regular season, have that clinched, and that's a strong performance for the 11.
Don't you bet, though, if you ask them, you're the regular season champion. Yeah, but we got beat tonight.
He's not going to care. It's not going to matter right now.
It's going to help tomorrow. It's not going to help tonight. Look at the team. Let's go, buddy.
You could just feel, like you said, Michael, the love. They just love this kid. Look at the focus on Corey Day. Heck of a drive for him.
Such a drive for him tonight.
There's always one guy that messes up your whole party, right? Corey Day's like, yeah, that was great, but.
Be adding another win sticker right there next to his name. How fun. He gets to hop out of the truck and celebrate with his team, do the interview with them. Race winner is pumped up and he's ready to talk, Caitlin.
He certainly is. An incredible burnout by him there. Of course, getting some congratulations from his team. What an incredible effort by all of them here on this crew today. And Layne, well, he's not done. He's still going to celebrate with the rest of the crew, rightfully so. He had told me before the race that this team was peaking at the right time, and this seems like a true testament of that and the strength of this group as well. Layne Riggs winning both stages, a simply dominant performance as well for him.
He's showing the camera.
Showing the camera. Oh, we got a fire. Yep, there you go. Layne, this was a flawless performance by you and your team. How were you able to execute and make this one happen?
Oh, man, my team, this truck was badass, man. It was so great. I was just out front saving my tires at the end, and man, I was just waiting for a late race caution, trying to run the bottom and trying to run the least amount of distance to keep just distance off my tires. But just so great to get nicotine Clue nicotine pouches in Victory Lane. This is only their second race with us, so we're just super excited to have them as and a part of board. Just thanks to everybody at front row. I'm out of breath. That was a pretty cool celebration. Thank you to everybody at home. It's man, all the guys in the fab shop, body shop. These guys did it for you guys. This thing was really, really fast. Made my job easy today.
Very impressive win. Enjoy this one. Layne Riggs, the winner here at IRP. Jamie.
Well, best career finish for Corey Day, who comes home second. I know you like to finish one spot better, but you told me at Nashville it felt like things clicked. How do you put into words this performance tonight?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's definitely good to back up Nashville. I was telling everyone it clicked, and I felt like it clicked, but, unless I come here and back it up, it means nothing. So, yeah, really glad to finally be delivering results. I've been working really, really hard at this stuff to, be delivering these results, and, I really want to be, during a burnout up there. So I'm going to keep working as hard as I can. Very thankful for Hendrick Motorsports, Jeff Andrews, Jeff Gordon, Mr. H, Kyle Larson, just everyone who's believed in me to get me to this point. Thank you to HendrickCars.com, Spire Motorsports for bringing me a super fast Chevy Silverado, and yeah, we'll keep working at it, but good day for sure.
Runner-up finish for Corey Day, Jamie.
Well, he certainly did. Not just backed it up, he was here and he let us all know he has one more Truck Series race coming up at Darlington. Right now, it's all celebrations. He literally burned it down. We'll be back more from IRP after this. tomorrow it's an action-packed day at Indy with Xfinity qualifying and then Cup practice and qualifying from the Brickyard. It's followed by racing action for the Xfinity Series at 4:30 Eastern on the CW. Indianapolis Motor Speedway, about 7 miles from where we are tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Riggs continuing to celebrate with everyone. Picks up that checkered flag. It's going to be a fun night for this young man. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. We've been talking about the countdown to the playoffs. Just 2 races remain. 7 are locked in. 3 open spots, guys, and this is how things have shook up just a little bit. Ty Majeski, though, still on that bubble.
Yeah, but he's a race ahead. Complete race of points ahead of the next position. So you look at the guys underneath the cut line, we're talking win now, aren't we, Regan?
Yeah, absolutely talking win. And I think if you're Ty Majeski, you're still a little bit nervous about that, but what I do like is maybe closed it up just a little bit on Caden Honeycutt there, so he's opening up options to continue on and make sure he makes the playoffs, even if he doesn't get a win. But it will be a nervous 2 weeks now, not only for the guys below the cut line, but for the 3 that are above it. They're still going to be just as nervous in case you do get that surprise win and somebody has one of those days.
Corey Heim finished 4th tonight, 5 wins on the season. He has just been lights out, and that has earned him regular season champion.
Yes, very exciting honor indeed for Corey Heim. Regular season champion for you. How rewarding is this one?
Yeah, it feels really good. Just a testament to how good we've been this year. I feel like this is probably the first race where I haven't had a legitimate shot to compete for the win. So that really says something, and a little bit disappointed to come here. I was actually excited to come here and try to improve. I've never felt like this track has been my best, but unfortunately just kind of roamed around the outside of the top 5 all day, and had a really good restart there at the end to get us a track position to finish 4th. But yeah, just really proud of all the guys at Tricon Garage. I mean, they've been lights out this year. Like I said, this is like really the first race I haven't felt like I've been good enough, and I feel like we got some good races coming up as well. So huge thank you to them, Toyota, Safe Flight, and everyone else who makes this happen.
A solid day, a very impressive season so far. Josh Sims right now is with the 3rd place finisher.
Yeah, the birthday boy, Stewart Friesen, on his 42nd birthday, making his 200th start, comes home 3rd. You were talking about how you guys got off a little bit of a strategy there, but still able to come home with a top 5. Break down your day.
Good. Just a lot of teamwork there all day to really, really improve on our truck from practice to, fixing the right rear hub to starting last and coming up through. So, it looked like everybody was coming in on that stop, and then 5 or 6 of them bailed, and I went, maybe I'll bail 2. And I'm like, nah, I better stick with it. And, it worked out. We were able to almost get a playoff stage point there with about 5 to go in the 2nd stage. I knew I wasn't going to catch Layne, so I was like, all right, I better just lay back here and save my stuff. And thought we were good there for a while, and then just burned up the tires a little bit too much at the end. But just really, really proud of the whole HFR team. Big thanks to Helmar and Mohawk Northeast, Al and Chris, and all our great product sponsors, all our supporters, Toyota, TRD. And it feels good to be back here with a top 3, and it's coming into the nitty-gritty now. So it feels good to have a good run and some good momentum, and really solid truck that we can use.
On his birthday.
Yeah, great effort for Stewart Friesen. Led 20 laps tonight, the same amount of laps led by Corey Heim. Well, the celebration continues for Layne Riggs and Victory Lane. We'll be back to IRP to wrap things up. 23-year-old Layne Riggs continues to celebrate. He's made his way over to victory lane. Look at that team. Such a young team. We keep talking about it, but they seem to be unstoppable. Tonight was definitely the most dominant win that he has had in his young career in the Craftsman Truck Series. And hope you enjoyed it as we did. A little short track action under the lights in Indianapolis, my hometown. Now we're kind of going up near your hometown for the next stop. But what are your thoughts just on Layne Riggs, what he was able to do tonight?
Well, I think you can see the confidence building in Layne Riggs and just the interview and how good that truck was tonight and that whole team. And this is a good time of year to start gaining that confidence, to gain that momentum as we get ready for this playoff stretch. Maybe get some more playoff points. He got 5 of them tonight. Got a couple more weeks. You can get up to 10, well, actually about 14 more, Michael, over the next couple weeks if things go your way. And I got to give credit also to the entire Craftsman Truck Series field. We saw some fantastic battles tonight, side by side, 3, 4. You even got your 5 wide at one point, Michael. These guys held it together, and between the drivers, the spotters, and everybody, what a whale of a race.
Intense action, and I think Layne Riggs delivered a playoff statement. I guarantee you that young man says we are now the favorite to go win this championship. I don't care what Corey Himes done up to this point. We had a big night tonight. We were strong a couple weeks ago in Pocono. We're going to go win this championship. That's what this team is thinking, and I want to tell you what, I got to give it up for Stewart Friesen. On those old tires, preserved what he had, raced to a top 3 finish. What a great run for Stewart. What a fun race it was tonight to watch as well.
Hard fought, and on his 42nd birthday, good for him. But Layne Riggs, we've been watching him celebrate. There isn't a person that wasn't happy for him tonight. He's getting fist bumps and hugs all the way around. We're going to take one weekend off, but we will be back from Watkins Glen. See it there, practicing qualifying on FS2, and then the race 5 Eastern on FS1, August 8th. Well, for all of us here at Fox Sports, for Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith, Caitlin Vinci, Josh Sims, I'm Jamie Little. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Congratulations, Layne Riggs. He is the winner. Qualifying from Sonoma NHRA coming up next.
Can't face on, I don't fake that. I intimidate, eliminate competition like a dinner plate. I'm what makes a winner great. I invigorate. You buckle down and disintegrate. You feel me? Coming through with that weak sauce. You weak boss, don't wanna take a week off. I stand tall and confident, you ain't hot as me. You don't stand at all, you a mockery. I am on the rise. I was told only the strong survive. The difference between y'all and I, without wings, I was born to fly. Get your game face on. Get your game face on. Get your game face on. 'Cause I'm coming to play, boy.
This